Many terrorist attacks are coordinated outside of the United States and plotted on our own land. By having the NSA collect data, we are able to see patterns of cell phone calls and locations that give the government time to stop these terrorist attacks. The United States' best bet for catching coordinated terrorist attacks that are being plotted within the United States by another government is through the collection of cell phone data. According to the National Public Radio, in a podcast that was done on the NSA, it stated that it is almost impossible for us to catch these plots as they are being trained. Our best hope for catching these plotters is that they will have to have coordinated probably by phone with their trainers back in the Middle East. And if we can catch those calls, we have a fighting chance of catching the attacks before they happen. The only way to keep up with information at the pace that terrorists are moving is to use phone surveillance. Again, from the National Public Radio, there's a quote that said, once you try to find somebody in the United States, you're going back to every phone company in America and asking for their calls. The only way you can actually do this as fast as the terrorists can carry out their plot is to have one place where you can search for them, and that is what a collection is, and that's what the NSA does, is they collect information and put it into categories. And that is why the program was set up in the US, and that was pertaining to surveillance of phone calls. There is no constitutional laws being broken due to the fact that if a device is not collecting contents or dialogue, there is no warrant needed for collecting data. According to Ed Walker of Global Research, the collection of metadata is completely legal. If a device is not capturing the contents of a particular dialogue call, the device does not require a warrant, but only a court order under the Pen Register statute, showing the material obtained is relevant to an ongoing investigation. So this research or this surveillancing being done by the NSA through phone calls is also helping police departments in ongoing investigations too. So it's not just terrorist attacks. Contrary to my opponent's belief, the strict regulations put on surveillance and how the NSA collects data makes the actions much more constitutional. In a Business Insider article by David Francis, he states that President Obama said that he has put strict protocols in place that require judicial review and a warrant for all PRISM targets. He and other officials also said that the government is not listening to our conversations or reading your email. It is simply identifying phone numbers that could be connected to terrorists. So it's basically collecting data on locations of cell phones and how often they call, and just putting together a collection of data so that they can refer back to it if they need to.